What is going on? I'm ZmoT, and we are back in Boom Beach. Now, code ZmoT is in all Supercell games. You guys have been doing ridiculously well at putting it in Brawl Stars and Squad Busters and Heyday and all of the rest. Now, speaking of ridiculously well, I have copied this base off of Cobra Bomber, who has been crushing it as always. Now, it's that time of season where it's tough to figure out which base to use. Cobra Bomber has extra cannons. He also has rocket launchers. I don't have those things, so I have just made my impression of the base. If you want to copy it, there it is. My previous base was just me being dumb, but as a result, people were getting 251s and 249s, and then I realized that I had done some dumb things. So I had gotten this guy's shield and not placed it. Also, in a fit of late night dumbness, I had switched this node, swapping 40% troop damage for 30% building health, so I had to spend the diamonds and go back and do this one, and that is why you do not play warships at 2 a.m. after too many cups of loudmouth soup. So, have not played basically in the last 10 days, just dropping troops, dumb base. We finally have a good base. We finally have the basic idea of how to attack. We are going to be using Heavy Choppa and Rocket Choppa with some Seekers and with Bullet. Now, I am not good at getting Bullet to go where I want him to, but we're going to give it a go. We're going to drop one over there, and then you guys over here, and then flare back to like this sort of neighborhood. And we do have critters, so we get a little bit of extra value there. We're going to drop our Seekers over here. And then we're going to throw a shock into about there. And then our Seekers should do something useful for us. We're going to have to throw a shock over here as well. Trying our darndest not to lose all of our Seekers. Bullet is standing in there doing a halfway decent job of distracting things. And then the Seekers have actually made their way towards that final engine room that's not actually the final engine room, but we're going to start off with a 3-minute 14-second time, which is faster than I usually get, so I'm guessing that I need to start scouting and paying a little bit more attention, because did they have building health? No, they did not. So could have been a little bit faster, but got a tiny bit lucky, and I am lacking on the troop health side, as you can see there, and the GBE side, and also do not, let's just do a review, shall we? Do not have that GBE, do not have that building damage, but the 7 engine room with all of that fun stuff at the end is calling, which will probably be a fizzle meta and will probably be a mess, but might as well go there, like Kim Mitchell famously once said, might as well go for the soda, nobody hurts. My other account does have rocket launchers and shock launchers, but it does not have the building health because I don't have rocket choppas. So there is a lot of different things going on, and I did not pioneer this attack. I think it was Pat that I saw do it, and so we are going to do a poor imitation of it. But that might just be good enough to get us to where we need to go. Bullet is going to taunt some things. Bullet is going to stand in and do some wonderful things. And critters have been so good for this attack strategy. So if you are wondering what is the next thing on your list, it might just be critters, because critters help keep your troops alive pretty gosh darn well, as our Seekers end up getting in there as well. And I did not plan this attack well at all, as you can tell by the fact that we have a long ways to go to get to those bottom engine rooms, but we're just going to try it nonetheless, getting that shock out, getting our rocket choppas in harm's way, and just kamikazing all the way across the map with a couple artilleries mixed in, and we're gonna get a 251. So Bullet kind of ends up in a halfway decent slot a couple times, but let's be honest, it's just the troop combo. Heavy Choppa, Rocket Choppa is absolutely jacked. They are so good, and you don't have to use Bombardiers, which makes me very happy. On my other account, I do not have Heavy Choppas. I do not have bombardiers. I'm kind of tempted to get laser rangers. I feel like they'd be a lot of fun against some of those clump bases, and I do have Kavan on the other account, so two vastly different tech trees should have been a lot more fun, but I just haven't been playing enough or paying enough attention. I mean, I've only gotten 6 out of 6 a couple times, but it's just the sheer lack of consistency and thought. And honestly, I'm just sending out the message to the Join It Own Risk group saying, like, what should I unlock next? And just blindly following without much thought, which hurts my brain a little bit, but should be able to do halfway decent things. We're just gonna keep doing the same hit. I really do like dropping on the left-hand side instead of, the right-hand side instead of the left, but it's not terribly often that I actually manage to pull that one off. So we're just gonna go this way. Bullet's gonna hang in there, and we're gonna try to get some critters underneath there just to distract that boom cannon right there. That boom cannon is the bane of my existence in so many ways, but because we've got some critters underneath there, seekers coming underneath there, I should say, we should have been able to do better than I did, and definitely trying to keep our seekers alive and moving forwards and not shocked and not doing too great of a job of it, unfortunately. But now we've got some rocket choppas there. I'm going to throw a taunt even though Bullet's nowhere near where he needs to be. And now we are about to lose at least one rocket choppa, probably two, throwing some shocks out and trying to get all of our troops onto that final engine room. And this is why I needed the new base, because getting 2 minutes and 51 seconds was not fast enough to win a bunch of times, so this base appears to be standing up fairly well. You guys probably have the building damage. I don't. Seems like the 110% building damage versus 100% building health, or do I have that backwards? And lots of people actually going pretty darn high into legendary and stuff with all 3 prototypes. I should be able to know who that is, but I don't think I do, so let's just check. They have the hot pot. They do not. This is the wrong base to show you, so what we're gonna do instead, of course, is just go back to attacking. I looked for a couple bases, but there are people with Scorcher Zuka that have got all 3 prototypes, which I think is super badass. I mean, the fact that I guess they'd have 2 at that point, because you do have to give something up to get this stuff at the end, but very cool tech tree. And I have been on the outside looking in more because of Disneyland and Guy's Trip and Canucks beating the stinking Maple Leafs. Just not fully engaged, so thank you for your patience. Weird season for me. Speaking of 3 protos, they have got 2. They have got the laser beam and the sky shield. They have 3. So this is a Scorcher Zuka player, almost certainly. So now we just need to try to get Bullet into a reasonable spot, and then we're just going to send all of this stuff as my screen jumps, which is not super duper fun. Rocket Choppa is decently far enough out front, which is great. We're going to get a shock there. And then as this stuff gets back here, we definitely need a shock. That Rocket Choppa was a little bit too far ahead. Now we can throw a shock here and a taunt there, and just Bullet is going to stand in a halfway decent spot, which is huge, because it's going to mean that our Seekers can get onto that engine room as Bullet taunts that shock launcher. And now all of this stuff we can just throw a shock about there. Definitely did not get deep enough into the base with our Seekers, which is going to be a problem, but we should still be able to keep that shock going, which is gonna be a bit of a waste at the second, but should be able to get onto this engine room right about. You know what? I'm just gonna keep shocked, because that heavy choppa is in a great spot, and don't think we need to go super duper fast, but need that heavy choppa to get exactly where it did, which is a huge benefit. And now let's get one more shock and then a bunch of artillery. Extra heavies being super duper useful, and we are gonna be slow. Oops, there's an extra engine room down here. That did not go as I had hoped. Not paying nearly enough attention, which is a giant surprise to absolutely no one. And we have fizzled, just completely dumb. Maxwell Johnson is going to be somewhat, actually, I was going to say slow, but they actually, we pushed them into diamond. At least we pushed someone into diamond. That's kind of nice. Only lost 9 stars, but more importantly, did lose our win streak, which is no bueno. Had awesome Mexican food on Saturday night. Also, Buddy's drinking 6-ounce margaritas. Just absolutely ridiculous. Just debauchery. We will not dwell on that, though. We will dwell on getting that engine room with our Seekers. I'm going to drop Bullet a little bit over here, trying to get him a little bit better placed. That has been a giant flaw in my attacks. So we're just going to go something like this. Bullet is going the wrong way, of course. And now we're going to get a shock there and a shock there. And should be able to just clear through all of this stuff. We have not lost any rocket choppas yet, so we are in great shape on that side of things. And I probably have spoken a little bit too soon, but hoping to get, look at that, Bullets actually standing in, doing something half decent, helping us get that shock launcher, not getting our troops. And then we've actually got a couple Seekers in there, which is a nice little bonus move. And now just trying to get onto that final engine room in about 3, 2, 1 now, and then just all the artillery. Heavy chopper, rocket chopper is a lot of fun, but you need bunches of troop damage, and we've got a 258. So you should be able to win with a 258 almost every battle, but as we saw against that Chinese opponent, doesn't always work out. Angry Bond coming in like Scorcher, Everspark with rocket choppas, and there might be some players up the very, very top with Everspark, but the whole season it just felt like Everspark wasn't the hero for me. So if you're in Legendary with Everspark, please do let me know, but I'm having a lot more fun with Bullet, and my Kavan account is just so dreadfully painful that I'm trying not to play it. So we are going to get into Diamond here in the next, hopefully, it's going to have to be 3 attacks unless I get a little bit lucky, but we're just going to let this go. We'll do one more attack, then I'm going to call it a day and just promise you that I'll be in Diamond by the next time we talk, and if I'm not, then it's on me, I suppose. We've got, just to make my life even busier, let's just, you know what, let's just double check. They've got, do you have shock mines down here somewhere? Looks like no. We're going to drop Bullet over here and this stuff over here. And this is my first attack against a 7, so it's going to be a little bit sloppy, almost certainly. But we're just going to keep this stuff dropped and this dropped and this stuff dropped. Bullet, look at that. Bullet is going to stand in an absolutely perfect spot for once in his life. We are going to pre-smoke, just trying to get him, or sorry, them, I should say, to get them into the right spot. Bullet again taunting. Heavy chopper going down. Let's get some critters back there and just hoping that we can get onto those bottom engine rooms using Bullet and the gang. Bullet doing so much good by an absolute fluke. And I think I threw a smoke instead of a shock back there somewhere by the looks of things. And I've been doing that so much this season that it is just beyond ridiculous. So let me know in the comments if you guys have had problems with that or if it's just my late night ridiculousness, because that would not surprise me in the least. Trying to get back on that back engine room in an absolute hurry. Need that stupid sky shield to go down, and now that that's gone down, we can get onto that final engine room. As 2 Seekers arrive to the fray and get a couple shots in as well, and we were very slow. Definitely need to tidy up my 7 engine room attacks, but let's just see what they are doing. I'm going to guess it's going to be like mechs or something. Everspark, Bombardier, Scorcher. So heavy choppas and rocket choppas doing some good stuff there, and we have moved up a teeny tiny bit, and only 10 stars. Was really hoping to get an 11 there. A little bit of a tease, but know that things are progressing a little bit. Hopefully that attack helped you out a little bit if you're never seen it before, but I feel like I'm the only person living underneath a rock this season. So, anyways, did I already mention that we've got a student coming to live with us for 2 weeks that doesn't speak any English? So that's going to be my next 2 weeks working on the French. Duolingo not helping as much as I wish it would, but I shall talk to you soon. I am ZmoT. Keep code ZmoT in there. Hit me up in the comments. Let me know how your season's going. And I've got some good stuff planned. Just need to find some time to implement. So I'll talk to you soon. Thanks for coming in. Peace.